And we're now going to turn it over to the governor for questions from the media. And I will also acknowledge that there are many other companies represented in the room: Home Depot, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and many small retailers as well. So there's a very powerful coalition going together with Amazon at the table to Washington, D.C., which we believe will make a difference as we move this forward. So now we'll turn it over to the governor for questions from the media.
Very few questions. Yes. Yeah.
I actually have two, but one for you, Governor. Now you just created a $200 million hole in the budget by allowing them to delay this. What do you say to groups and programs that say now they're fearful, without this $200 million, that they're slated for more cuts and more devastation?
Well, the $200 million is just a small part of the overall problem. So we'll handle this one relatively easily. We'll have other challenges that you'll be hearing about in the months ahead. So, yes, this is a little bump, but there'll be many more bumps and even a few mountains to climb before we get to next June.
Oh, did you want to answer,
yeah.
Mr. Speaker?
The other reality is this was in the process of being referendized. And had the referendum moved forward, then we wouldn't have been collecting the $200 million anyway. So this solution that was just signed into law by the governor doesn't create a $200 million problem. In fact, it solves a problem in the out years by creating the certainty necessary that starting in the next year we'll absolutely have the collection. And depending on federal legislation, it could come even sooner than that. So this doesn't create a problem. It actually gives us certainty of collection in the out years.
Thanks.
And then the other question was for the gentleman from Amazon. Is it Paul? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So could you elaborate more what this means for California? At one point on the table, you offered 7,000 jobs for California. Are those jobs still coming? Are those distribution centers still coming? And which part of the state and what kinds of jobs?
Yes, thank you for the question. We intend to bring jobs to California, create jobs here in the state, and we anticipate within the next few years those jobs would number on the order of 10,000 full-time jobs with comprehensive health care. Along with that would be on the order of $500 million in capital investment, of course, which will lead to other jobs as well. And so, as I said at the end of my remarks, we look forward to a long and lasting partnership with the state where it's mutually beneficial to all parties.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and maybe this is for Amazon too, but what exactly you're going to do to lobby Congress, and really what are the odds of getting federal legislation passed in an election year that on tax policy in this climate, and how you're going to do that?
When we find the answer to that, we're going to solve a lot of more problems. But I'm waiting to hear. So tell us, how are we going to do that?
Good ideas travel west to east often. And with California's leadership and with this team assembled here, not just in the government but also my friends in the retail industry, I think we have a real possibility of getting this done quickly. It is a matter of importance not just to online companies and offline companies and fairness, but also to the states, because the states may not require out-of-state sellers to collect, all out-of-state sellers to collect without federal legislation. So this is a way forward where everyone wins, and I think we can take that case to Congress collaboratively in a way that we've not been able to until this day. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
This is also for the gentleman from Amazon primarily. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that we don't solve this problem in the Congress by the deadline set in this deal. Is Amazon prepared to pay the sales tax?
We have said we're going to. Yes, it's not pay, it's collect, but yes, we have said we're going to.
Okay, it sounds like, what's that?
Well, excuse me, Governor.
I
apologize, sir.
I'm waiting.
We envision them throughout the state. The numbers of jobs that we're talking about and the size of the facilities that we're discussing would be distributed throughout the state, and so we're always looking for suggestions as to where to locate these facilities. I'm sorry? It takes a while to build a 1 million square foot facility, and so these things will be coming in the next couple of years.
The post office.
We are aware of certain areas that are particularly amenable to our facilities, but again, we're open to suggestions from the state. And again, we want to work this collaboratively with the leadership of the legislature and with the governor and his administration. Mike Rossi has been a fundamental cause of pulling all this together in the name of jobs and economic development in the state. And so we intend to work with Mike and the rest of the administration on finding those locations.
Governor?
So just to clarify, when you're talking about the 10,000 jobs,
Yeah.
Mr. Misener, are you talking about distribution centers specifically, or are you talking about something else?
I'm sorry again, Governor.
We get him all the time.
A variety of different kinds of facilities could be pictured here. It's a partnership, a long-term, lasting relationship with the state that we intend to begin as soon as practicable.
Governor, one last question.
Yeah.
Everybody hails the bipartisanship that was behind the deal, but the office of Senator Dutton is complaining that they weren't invited.
I don't know. Is that true?
It
Were they
seems
invited?
strange not to see
Wait a minute. Let's find it.
We were all invited at the last minute, including Senator Dutton.
Yeah,
Were we
but
all?
hey, we made up our mind late. So what's the deal? You got to be ready. You got to be standing at your post, ready to take the call when it comes. It's that simple.
May I, Governor?
Yeah.
But let's be clear. We all got notice of this very late. But the notice isn't the important part. The important part is actually the structure of the deal. And Senator Dutton was very helpful in helping create the circumstances where we could all come together. So Senator Dutton played a leadership role. Each of the authors played a leadership role. The pro tem and I were engaged in the process. It really was the result of a very good bipartisan effort that was only possible because of the willingness of all those people and the willingness of the bricks and mortar retailers and the online retailers to find a solution that would give us the certainty that was so important for the future of the state. And the governor's signature really locks this in as a key point in creating fairness in the way we do competition in the state of California, and it does set the table for a national example as well. So thank you.
Connie gets credit too because she could have stopped it.
Governor Brown.
Yes.
Right here. Just a little off topic. Do you have a comment on what's happening with the Solyndra execs pleading the fifth? And do you plan on investigating the $35 million tax break that the company was given under the previous administration?
Are there any other on-point questions? Okay. Well, the answer is very simple. No to your first question, and no also to the second, because the federal government is in a better position to investigate itself, either Congress investigating the executive or vice versa. But we don't have the resources to go around trying to clean up their problems. We have to focus on our own.
Yay. And it's for Paul. I apologize. No, seriously. I mean, we've been calling for months, and this is the first time we've
has
seen.
he been hard to get to? That's why he's so popular.
Clearly, that's the only reason.
Can you elaborate on how many customers are in California? And did you see a dip when this, as you know, there was a boycott to start canceling people's subscriptions and accounts with you. So did you see at all any movement in that at all?
I frankly, I just don't know the answer. I'd be happy to follow up with you and see if we can get you an answer, but I just don't know.
Do you know how big your base is in California? Do you know how many customers?
It's what percentage of GDP? 10, 15, 12% of GDP? So.
Okay. And then this whole referendum thing, the threat, did you have to undergo any, soul searching? Because you did take a lot of bad hits for threatening with this referendum, and people made you look like a bully, and that this is the way you want it. And so now you have this change of heart, and so what's going on here?
Well, what's going on is we came together and worked collaboratively and reached what has been called a classic compromise, and this is the way government ought to work, and we were delighted to be a part of it. It really did take the efforts of many, and I do credit the GAP so much for bringing us together, not just in this room, but also in the negotiation process.
So, thank you all. Thank you.